Hello and welcome to LDEI Live Online. I'm Sheila Cry, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Today's program celebrates one of the most exciting new initiatives in our organization, the LDEI Chapter Awards. This program shines a light on the creativity, collaboration, and philanthropic impact happening across our chapters, recognizing the bold ideas and meaningful work that advance our mission. You'll hear directly from representatives of our award-winning chapters in a guided conversational format. So as you think of questions, raise your virtual hand, and our moderator, Liz Barrett, will call on you so that we can move the conversation forward, and we'll try to keep everything in a timely fashion. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our moderator, Liz Barrett. Liz has served as an officer on the board of directors of both the Chicago chapter and LDEI, where she contributed her communications expertise to benefit the organization and its members. Most recently, she chaired the newly minted Chapter Awards Committee, giving her a front row seat to the innovation, impact, and excellence we will be discussing today. Liz, thank you for leading us. I'm delighted to turn the program over to you.
Thank you, Sheila. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you today. Um, as Sheila mentioned, I was recruited by the fabulous Marilyn Freundlich, who you can't say no to Marilyn, to be the first chair of the chapter awards. And I have to say, it was one of the most inspiring experiences. And I have a committee of, a few other DOMs that we work together. Stephanie Yeager, I think, is on here somewhere. So she generously volunteered to sort of step along here with me. But what today is all about is giving more people maybe who weren't able to attend conference, an inside look at the award-winning programs from three different chapters today. And this is an opportunity for them to sort of explain how they did what they did, and for you to ask questions that you can take back to your chapters to see if you can, if you want to adapt an event into your market or, you know, switch it up into whatever works for you. But it's really amazing the passion and the expertise that comes to the table here to make these things happen that make a huge impact on the community. So many dollars raised for scholarship and other community programs. It's really, really cool. So each chapter president or representative is going to talk about how they did what they did for about 10 minutes. And then, as Sheila said, if you've got questions, just raise your hand, and then we will leave some open time at the end for questions as well. So, with that, I'm going to introduce Kate Willer, who is the president of the Greater Des Moines chapter, and they were the recipient of the Philanthropic Powerhouse Award. And I don't know if how many of you have heard about their wine and pie program that they do every fall, but that is what landed them smack in the winner's circle for this one. So, Kate, I will let you take it away.
Thank you so much, Liz. Hi, everybody. So happy to see all of you. We are in Des Moines, Iowa, and our main way that we are raising money right now is our wine and pie event. And what that consists of is we do a wine and pie bundle. So we do a pie that is fully made and prepared by our DOMs, but it is frozen in a real pie pan with the instructions come in the box that we send the pie out in of how that they can bake straight from frozen. So it's really a take and bake situation, but by maybe made by a few more gourmet hands. Um, It is paired with a wine. We have several wine professionals, and they are the ones that help us find the pairing based on what flavor we are doing. And we try to get at least some portion of it donated or a discount price on the wine from they're reaching out to their contacts to get that. For the actual pies themselves, we got our recipe from a dom that is a pie baker. She made the recipe with us. It started when we were in COVID, and we learned how to make pie as an activity on Zoom. So we all made dough on Zoom together or in our own manner of time, froze it, and then later in small separated groups, made the actual pies themselves.
So this launched during 2020.
Yes. Yeah, we needed a way to be able to connect and a way to raise money when we couldn't be together at all. So that's how it came about. We were like, okay, we can all make dough in our own homes. We can all then find smaller kitchens that we can be still spaced out to then get the ingredients together, build the pies, and then wrap the pies and freeze them. It then grew to where we could be together. And so became a much bigger goal and a much bigger project. All of whatever we're making with the pie with, we've tried to get as many ingredients donated that we can. We get all of our butter is always donated to us. There's a local spice shop downtown that donates the spices, whatever we use. We tend to change the varieties up a little bit every year. We usually always do an apple bourbon, which is a really popular one with a crumble topping. We get the bourbon donated. The first couple of years, any fruit pie that we did, we were gleaning in our community. There were a lot of farms or neighbors that were too old to pick their own fruit, and the food was going to go to waste. Our chapter is super enthused about food waste and how do we help the community that doesn't have food. So that's sort of where the gleaning idea came in. And of course, in early days, everybody had a lot more time to do that. Everybody was looking for a way to be outside and do something. So it was a good fit to start. It did become a little more challenging once everyone was back into real life and had no time again. So we do some gleaning if there's possibilities to do these days, but now we do purchase some of the fruit. Um, and again, we look for ways to kind of be donated, that kind of thing. So we do it all. We bundle it. They get a wine, they get a pie. We do all of our sales online on our website, and we do pickups. It's always the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So we're sort of tapping into the market of you're making all these things. Thanksgiving is a lot. How can we help it make it easier? Which has been really popular with the people that we've seen come back year after year. They're like, I'm so happy you're still doing it this year. This is making my holiday so much easier. Which, it is a very busy time of the year for all of us. And so that was one thought. We almost stopped doing it then because of the time management situation. Uh, but we were hearing from our guests that like this was the time. It was so great. And so we did a survey with our chapter of how they wanted to be involved because we did a whole brainstorm of are we going to do a new fundraiser because this one is becoming challenging in the season. And we came up with, I don't even know, like 45 new ideas for some other idea that we could do to raise money. But the overwhelming sentiment was, we really love this and we don't want to give it up. So how do we morph it into something that works in this day and age where our time is different than it once was? So we asked them, how put down on this paper, on this survey, why do you want to do it? What is most exciting to you? And it was all that they wanted to give back to the community and that they wanted more connection. So instead of having just the philanthropy chair and the committee be the brunt of the organizers and the doers and the setting it all up, we broke it up and asked everybody like, can you host a pie making and how many pies can you commit to? And then that group was given the recipes and they were in charge of making and freezing and storing instead of having to find one storage unit. And that group was also responsible to getting it to the pickup zone, which became a Dom business that had a freezer that we could use overnight. So
Okay.
everybody could get those to one place one day. And it really helped spread the task load. And I think everybody had a lot more connection because we said obviously people are going to bake with the people that they know and they love, but please try and invite a Dom that you don't know that well or a new Dom into your group. So there was a little bit more of that cross mingling of really getting to know
Yeah.
who your members are.
How many, I guess, wine and pie kits did you sell last year?
160, I think it was.
Wow. And what's the
Yeah.
price?
80 dollars.
$80.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they get a full pie pan so that, it feels like there's worth there after it's over. There's still this pie pan that guests can keep in their house and use or not. But
Yeah.
it's still a reminder of who we are in their house every day after the food and the wine is gone.
And they can pick their variety. Like, what do you make? Two or three types of pie?
Yeah, the first year I think we did 5 different ones, and that seemed a little nutso. So, so we usually do three. Mhm.
Okay.
So they
And
can choose their pie, and it's always the same wine for every pie bundle. We are now thinking about are we going to find an NA option that will be an option to go with a pie, as so many people are not
oh, okay.
drinking as much alcohol. So we're exploring doing that this year, but we will keep the price the same as it is a charitable donation.
And I just thought, Jean Marie have a question. Are those pie pans donated or are you purchasing them somewhere?
We sometimes we can get them donated. I run a restaurant, and so I reach out to all of my vendors who I buy all my china glass silverware, and I ask them either can they donate an amount if I'm buying so many, or can they give me a discount? And it's been a little different every year what they can do or who gets what, but that's who I go to first is we go to any of our restaurateurs, reach out to their vendors.
Okay. Um, let's see. Uh, and when do you start making the pies?
Usually it's October. We don't want them to be, made too far in advance.
Hmm.
But they are frozen, so they keep.
So you
Um,
freeze them raw.
yeah. Yeah.
And
So we
then,
make the pie itself, wrap it in saran, and then that gets frozen, and then they go in the box.
okay.
So we tie the day of is when we take the boxes, tie the ribbons, do the signage, all that kind of stuff on the product. And on each product, we make sure that on the card that gives you the directions for the pie, it also tells the guest where the money is going to. It's going to our own scholarship, our Give a Girl a Knife scholarship, as well as if we're giving grants to other organizations, what organizations that's going to, or which organizations we are doing outreach and using money for to do that outreach, like breakfast clubs we cook for, our Meals on Wheels that we work with, those kind of programs. So we make sure the guest knows who they're supporting. And also on the wine tags on the back of that, we're putting all of our sponsors' names so that our guests also know who's showing up for women in the community and who's giving a helping hand to help us do more.
Nice. And you do just one central pickup place.
Yes, we do offer delivery for an extra donation.
Okay. All right.
Most people choose to pick up.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, we do our pickups now. We finally found the home is an education room on a wine and liquor store that is run by one of our DOMs. So it's kind of like, they can twofer. Our
Right.
DOM stop gets a little extra love and it's easy for everybody and the running errands to come to.
And I will re-ask the question that came up at conference during the breakout about where you store
Store all the pies.
160 frozen pies.
Yeah. Well, the first year we had a test kitchen that had extra freezer room and a restaurant that had extra freezer room, big walk-in freezers. So we used that, which was great when we were on that site for we did drive by as a pickup in their outdoor area at first. Um, but then when we decided to move to a different area for pickup, it was how do we get all those pies? It's a whole nother step to get all those pies from there to the location pickup.
Right.
So now what we're doing is each group is responsible for freezing and holding the pies. My group that we made, I think 16 pies in the group that I was in. Um, One of the gals said, "Hey, I've got a deep freeze, an extra deep freeze in my home. They're going to live there until the day of pickup. I have a restaurant. I have some room. I put some in my freezer when other groups didn't have a regular, they only had a regular fridge at home. I didn't have room at my house, but so it was finding what worked.
Yeah. So dig deep. And if you have DOMs who've cafes or restaurants that has like big freezer capacity, reach out to them. Um, Jean Marie had another question about how long you've been doing it. You started in 2020, so it's
Yeah,
5 years old now.
yeah.
And I think, Jean, did you also ask, like, do you get any local media coverage or press coverage?
We send out a press release, so it does go to all of the local news stations. We haven't had a full like news story go out, but we do have lots of like local publications that are online. There's one called the DSM Dish, which goes out to anyone can sign up, but there's a lot of people. Anybody that's interested in a restaurant around town really probably signs up for it. There's another one called Axios, which is really a business news kind of focus, and they always publish for us. So we're kind of hitting people that would normally find us and people that might not in that front.
And can you tell us what your net profit was in 2025?
I believe it was $8,000.
Nice.
Honestly, I'm so sorry. I don't have the exact number, but I think it was 8,000.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, for a chapter, you have 65 members, so you're not a humongous chapter, but you had 80% of member engagement here.
Yeah, I mean, really reaching out to the chapter and doing that survey at one of our annual meetings where we had the bulk of everybody there and saying, like, this might go away. If it doesn't, how can you help? We're trying to not make it a giant load for everyone and make it a moment where we can all come together and have some fun. I mean, really, it is fun. Like, if you think about making 165 pies, that's a daunting task. If you think about making 12 with a group of 5 women, it
Right.
feels fun,
Yeah.
right? And you can pick the date, you can pick the time. It used to be here we're making pies on this date and this date and this date, who's signing up?
Yeah.
And then it became and that was like, okay, but if I can't do those dates or that amount of time, I'm out. And so in making it more accessible to say when can you do it and who's coming with you.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it made it easy and fun. We had a lot of fun.
Um, I like how you broke it up too. Like you can either make pies or you can work the pickup day or there was other jobs that
Yeah,
could
it
be
wasn't, you
done
don't
too.
always have to be the pie maker. Are
Mhm.
you the gatherer of the bags? Are you the person that's going to come the day ahead and tie all of our, you know, information onto the bags? Are you a delivery person? If you can't commit that much time, will you deliver 5 pies? Are you the one that's going to go pick up spices at the spice shop? It became
Yeah,
so much smaller of an ask for each
right.
person's time.
Cool. Donna, we're going to do this before we move on to the next one, but Donna Del Rey from Sonoma asks, do you have any issues with licensing to be able to legally sell or include wine in the package?
We have not,
And
thankfully.
as someone who works in the beverage alcohol industry, I know that every municipality in every state is different when it comes to that. So
Yeah.
I think,
Ultimately, I guess if we did have an issue, I have a restaurant and I have a catering license because we do offsite with liquor. There are several other caterers and restaurateurs in our group that also have licensing. So um, usually we just say one of us is the one that we purchase it.
mhm,
And then we're selling it as a donation, so it's not an issue. But we always purchase it through one of us that has the license,
right.
and then it's not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Okay. Thank you, Kate. So if you have questions about pie, hold them. We're going to move on to Susan Swagler and Kathy Mesrano, who are here representing Sante Burge, who's the president, is unable to join us, but these two are the real chicken professionals. So Birmingham chapter is widely known for their fried chicken and champagne event, which again, I think started during 2020 during the pandemic, correct?
Yes.
Little did we know that we would all be forced to be so creative that it would evolve into a years-long thing. Um,
Right.
so I'm gonna let you guys talk about sort of, what the fried chicken and champagne thing is and how you did it.
Okay. We're going to share a screen. We're going to share the screen. We have a presentation,
Okay.
and we're actually going to talk about both of our fundraisers.
Oh yeah, because you also had like
They're
a
very
sweet
different.
treats.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
serve
and
different
this
purposes.
This was the
So,
Showstopper Award, which was
yeah.
really all about events that are super creative, super memorable, and I will let you take it away.
Thank you. Let's see if
Okay,
I can make this go here.
Yeah.
Well, hold one
She's got it. She's
sec.
the tech person.
Here we go.
And I am so sorry I could not make the Vegas conference. I so wanted to
She
present
did.
because this is my baby. Champagne and fried chicken is my love. And but Susan did a phenomenal job, and we're kind of joined at the hip on all of this. So
So here we go.
here we go. Showtime. All right. We do have two annual fundraisers. One is large and involved, champagne and fried chicken, our signature event, and one is much smaller and quick, sweet treats, which is around Valentine's Day. So this allows all our members to participate in some way or the other in our fundraising efforts. Our signature event, Champagne and Fried Chicken, which is in the fall, started in October 2020 with a drive-through pickup picnic. That was in response to the pandemic fundraising challenges, which we all know. Previously, we had always had an in-person event and we called it Southern Soiree. We always wanted to combine French and Southern in our menu. So Champagne and Fried Chicken has become one of Birmingham's most anticipated events. It's fun and easy and different. It's gourmet Southern foods with French champagne in a picnic setting, and the drive-through still offers an easy grab-and-go option. Champagne and Fried Chicken is a festive hybrid. It's part drive-through pickup, picnic, and part dine-in, party in the streets. It has morphed into that. Our guests can choose their experience. By the way, we always have a band. Even when we were just 2020 driving through and picking up a tote or a basket, we had a band, and all our doms waving with masks on that said, "Merci, y'all." So the drive-through makes it weatherproof, and we can share our Southern hospitality with guests who decide to stay and dine with us. We have two very different fundraisers with different price points and levels of interaction, which allows us to reach all the members of our community. Champagne and Fried Chicken is the bigger ticket. It's $175 for a full chicken picnic dinner for two. We also have a vegetarian option, and last year we raised more than $100,000. We boost member participation by assigning tasks. I think you have to just tap a person's talent and what really rings their chime, you might say. Cooks cook, photographers photograph, restaurant owners make great hostesses. All the food for both events is created by our own members. The first thing we do, it does require several months of preparation. And I think someone asked, you have to get a city permit to close the street. That was very easy. It's about $100. It's no big deal where we do it. And it is on a Sunday afternoon in an area that's not a very high traffic zone. You also have to get a permit from a fire marshal because we do cook our chicken on site. But we have developed partnerships with our major food purveyors. Whether you're a caterer or a restaurant, we deal with these major purveyors, and they have provided the chicken as a donation and the frying oil, and even a 16-wheeler refrigerated truck that we use as our workspace to prep the chicken for on-site frying. Committees include sponsorship, ticketing, website, logistics, signage. It is a huge project. We have pre-prep the day before for our totes, which, by the way, we do this picnic in a really wonderful insulated signature tote that is a take-home keepsake that can be reused with our logo on it. And other teams, we have food tote assembly, food runners. We tap all our members and with what really works for them. And some that aren't cooks are better at hospitality, some are better at the numbers, or some are better at packing. It really works out to be a joint effort that everyone looks forward to participating in. We even have day of volunteer opportunities. We actually have 2 of our dimes have a farm and grow beautiful dahlias. Now that's very unique. So we give each person that buys a picnic tote a floral bouquet, which is a real surprise. We do that at the end of the drive-through line, or it comes with their picnic. So you probably have somebody with unique resources to tap to do something like that. We do it all. We cook, we pack, we serve, we create our own websites, signage, logos, do our marketing with local TV, radio, packaging, ads. That really, our social media posts are very intentional. We have a wonderful communications committee now that targets and shows our makers and shows our picnic. So we do get a lot of publicity for this. And we also, this opens up volunteer opportunities for members who are not traditional food producers. We encourage all members in some way to participate in our fundraiser, because when we have our new member interviews, it is mentioned. They know champagne and fried chicken and that we have sweet treats, our fundraiser, and they're expected to participate one way or the other. There's no way out. So, but it's something everybody enjoys and looks forward to. We were
Kathy,
lucky
how
to have Barb
many?
come over and observe it, so from Atlanta. And so we do have 2 different kinds of events so that our DOMs can all participate in one way or the other in one of these events.
How
And we
many?
taste at the end. We
How
all
many?
enjoy a glass of bubbly at the end.
How many champagne and fried chicken picnics do you sell?
300.
Yeah, 300 was our quota. We tried to take it higher than that, but we topped out at 300 because we do fry everything on site, and you get 5 pieces of chicken in it. And then all the sides were created by the DOMs, various companies or individuals that have catering.
Was there, well, I guess that's the ticket, that last bit that you said. I was just wondering about, handmade or homemade food and any kind of like health code issues, and is there anything that you had to cover off with that?
No, everyone is licensed that produces food.
Okay,
We have
okay.
quite a few caterers or food producers. They're not necessarily caterers. Some might have a restaurant or something in the culinary world that, yes, they do have a license. And as far as the alcohol, we have members that own restaurants that have, well, as caterers, we have a liquor permit, but it's a restaurant has a liquor license, so they can accept the champagne, which we get at a discounted price from the distributor here. And it was French champagne that we had. And so we're gifting it to people, as they say. We're not selling it.
Right.
And so your venue, It's interesting that you said you got a permit to shut down a street. I mean, that in Chicago, block parties are a big thing. And so you just go to your alderman, aka city
Oh, it's
councilman,
easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
use
and
smart.
City Hall. It's about $100, $120 to get the
okay,
permit.
okay.
And it's a Sunday afternoon. And this is an area, it's not a high traffic zone at all. In fact, there's very little traffic on those particular streets on Sunday.
So the first year in 2020, it was 100% drive-through, and now you have a mix. You can either just, pick it up and go or stay. About what percent is the
It's
breakout?
about
50-50.
it's about half and half.
Yeah, I think
And so this year we'll have a stay and play parking lot and a grab and go drive-through. And
Okay.
we'll have signage telling people how to enjoy, however they want to enjoy it. They can stay or they can go. But it is about half and half.
the key was to create a restaurant experience because our restaurateurs wanted to take it a step further instead of just the drive-through. And by the way, I think it's very important to have music. And we
Yeah.
have had a live band, even when it was only a drive-through, but we certainly have a stage and a band for the picnic. But it just adds a certain dimension, another level of enjoyment for our guests. But we treated it more like a restaurant experience with a hostess stand. If you were staying and then you were seated and Doms were bringing things to you as far as opening your champagne or bringing the picnic to you. So they wanted to create a little more of a full restaurant experience.
And what's the time frame on that Sunday?
It's we start at
4
4
o'clock.
to, well, it lasts 4 to 7.
4 to 6 is the drive-through pickup, and then the party lasts until 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 to 7 is the time frame.
And when it comes to supplies that you need for those people who are the stay and play, like glassware or utensils, how did you deal with that? Or did you go
Okay.
plasticware
Oh, no,
or
we do plastic. I use Tossware flutes, which is a great product, and bamboo plates.
Mhm.
And everything
It's
is
nice.
environmental friendly.
Real
And that
napkins,
is
though.
packed before, and we use tea towels
Mhm.
for napkins, but that's not a high cost item. And that is the paper goods that is packaged the day before the event by a
Okay.
separate committee, as well as the flower bouquets are prepped the day before. So we have 2 prep committees the day before, and then the day of, we try to involve every Dom and tap them for what really is their best talent.
okay.
And it's a party for them to be at too. They love seeing each other and being at the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Amazing. Amazing.
So
And if I may, I'd like to talk also about sweet treats.
yeah, we need to
Mhm.
tell you.
Yeah. When I was we were going through all the nominations and I was like, that's the high class bake sale. But
It is. And the reason I would like to talk about it is because it's a bit more manageable than champagne and fried chicken. Champagne and fried chicken takes months. Sweet treats, it takes 1 month to put together. 1 month to execute and promote. And we do it it's a Valentine's Day themed bake sale. 1 month from initial meeting to pickup party. There's a 2-hour packing window the day before and a 4-hour pickup window. And then aside from the baking, it's kind of a small time commitment that we're asking from our Doms, but it has turned into a significant fundraiser. Last year we made $13,000 with our bake sale.
wow.
And we pre-sell our big boxes. That's important. We had 160 of them. And then we pre-sell most of our half boxes. And I believe we had 40 of those. And we have a few more half boxes and some large baked goods like loaf cakes and big things to sell at our pickup party. And this allows people to support us at a smaller price point. It's just a quick market pop-up, and the different price points and the different levels of service from us let us reach our fundraising goals and not overly extend our members. We try to operate with respect for our members and what their bandwidth is to contribute.
So you're selling the boxes online in
Yes.
advance, and you can pick, I want a big box, and a big
Or
box costs, how much is a big box?
a big box, I was about to tell you, is $55 for a big box, and that's about 15 individually wrapped big portions of sweets, and they range from cookies to brownies, blondies, spiced nuts, beautiful, really, truly beautiful sweets.
Beautifully packaged with each Dom's logo
That's right.
on the individual packages.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice for the Doms too.
Yeah, yeah. And so the half boxes are $35. And as I said, it's a festive pop-up. So you see us on the left, we're at Alabama's largest farmers market, Pepper Place, and we decorate our tent and we decorate ourselves. And all the Doms have donated these baked goods that you can see in the boxes. They're these beautiful boxes with the clear tops, so people get excited about what they see. We provide the packaging, the chapter does, and the chapter provides the labels if people do not have them. And everything is labeled. We found that people wanted to know who made this fabulous cookie or who did this thing. And then they'll go find them in the community and buy more of those things. One thing I think it's important to note is that we cannot increase production. We really can't make more than 300 totes of fried chicken.
Yep.
We can't really make more than, I guess it comes out to 200 boxes of cookies. So the way we can make more money is through sponsorships. And so sponsorships for champagne and fried chicken start at $1,000 and go up to $10,000. Of course, we'll take more, but that's what we've been getting. And sweet treats, the sponsorships start at $500. This was our first year for getting sponsors for sweet treats. And we got two of them, Tito's and we got Cookie Fix. Both are, we have Doms who work in both of those, and one started the Cookie Fix company herself. But then we have partnerships. So you see Vecchia and the Cook Store and Hot and Hot. These partnerships, they, like, for instance, we put all of our boxes together in Hot and Hot. So Heidi donated that space for us to work, and we did not have to rent a space for that. That way we can work a lot more efficiently and cost effectively. And we try to change things up every year. So this year, two of our Doms, this is Brianna from Vecchia, and we had Wesley from the Cook Store. They donated gift certificates. So she did cooking classes, and Wesley did $50 gift certificates for the Cook Store, which is one of my favorite places in the world. And we called these golden tickets, and 8 of our sweet treats boxes had these golden tickets, and it created quite a bit more excitement for them.
I love that.
And for us. And again, just to let you know, Sweet Treats takes only 4 weeks. This is our packing committee in our donated space one year. And we have three committees for Sweet Treats. We have a packing committee, we have a baking committee, and we have a pickup committee. And people can choose to work on one or all, whatever they want to do. It's entirely up to them.
And are the baked goods made exclusively by like Doms who have catering companies, or can anybody raise their hand and say, I want to give chocolate chip cookies or whatever?
Mostly they are made by people with commercial kitchens, and then people will use commercial kitchens sometimes to make as well. So our laws here might be a little less strict than in some places.
Yeah.
So you have to think about that too, but we have had our members open up their fabulous commercial kitchens for and help people to create the baked goods for our
Right.
for our
And there are
boxes.
test kitchens, commercial test kitchens here.
Yeah.
We're a big publishing center
Mhm.
for test
Yes.
kitchens
Yeah.
too. And we have members from those companies that
Yeah.
are in our DOMs, our local
Yeah,
DOMs.
that's a
Yeah.
huge bonus.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to point out, and this is because this is true for both of our fundraisers, they are both pre-sold
Mhm.
on the Zeffy platform, and they are both weatherproof. And that is my favorite part. Let me repeat, they are weatherproof because between the drive-through and the pop-up tent and the pre-sold, everything being pre-sold, we have our money in the bank before we ever see the very first customer.
Mhm.
And that just, allows us to be successful year after year and not have to worry about anything really. And Zeffy also is a partner in that. If you don't know about Zeffy, Zeffy, it allows you to do these custom websites. We can check in our guests with our phones. We can schedule reminder emails. We can even write thank you notes. And when someone does an extra donation, I get notified, they get a note about that as well. And we can keep up with all of our customers, and it costs us no money. But not only that, Zeffy does not take there are no credit card fees.
Yeah, that was one of the big takeaways for
Mhm.
our chapter, frankly, because our for ticketing platform for any event we have has been Ticket Spice, and the fees are ridiculous. So we
Yeah,
are moving to Zeffy as a ticketing platform, and I know they offer so much more than
they
just
do. I
ticketing.
can't say enough good things about Zeffy, and I'll tell you what, they're adding more things now. Soon we're going to use it for our membership dues, and then that will give us our database of phone numbers that we can use for texting. We've already saved close to $4,000, I believe, over just 2 campaigns with Zeffy in
Yeah,
credit card fees.
yeah, it's a no-brainer, it seems like.
Great.
All right.
One other thing, we use and we promote our fundraisers through social media mainly, and we have a new comms committee that I'm so thrilled to work with because they coordinate everything. They do our social media posts, they do our press releases, they get us on television, they give us talking points, they send all the assets we need for that television segment, and they keep us engaged and they keep us accountable, and they make sure that what we're doing is consistent. And
Amazing.
one other thing I just wanted to say, we have a Sweet Treats handbook that I'm happy to share with anyone who might want it. If y'all want to take a screenshot, my email is there, Kathy's email is there, and we are more than happy to answer any questions after the fact or share that Sweet
Right.
Treats handbook with you.
And we will create one for champagne and fried chicken. It's just a very involved event, but the Sweet Treats is a great, this has been so successful. But
Thank you guys so much.
Let me stop sharing.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Mary Holland from Kansas City. Kansas City won the Cultivating Impactful Change Award, and this is all about scholarships and impacting others outside our chapter and really cultivating that new next generation of women in our industries. So you guys not only expanded your scholarships all the way up to like $39,000, I think, but you also did 2 scholarships to last year's MFK Fisher Storytelling Symposium that was in Nashville, which is pretty cool. So, Mary, I'm going to hand it over to you to tell us how you got to give away so much money.
Thank you. I will tell you just a bit of history. In 2018, when we started giving out scholarships, we gave two $500 scholarships. And we just approved last month, we will be giving away 17 scholarships this year for a total of just over $46,000. So we have grown tremendously. And that is our passion, staying with the scholarships. We are also expanding now because of our success and because I don't want to say this and jinx it, but we have some money. We are working on a grant program now where we can expand not just for the scholarship piece, but to some smaller size grants. And I know our team has been talking to some of the other chapters who have successful grant programs so we can get that started. And we're looking to give our first grant away in the fall. So fingers crossed that all works. We do Bastille Day Picnic, Pique, Nique. And as I'm watching both of the presentations, and you all both did such a beautiful job at conference, we're kind of in the middle of what both of you all do. We offer a gourmet style picnic for two. So we utilize what I noticed, we utilize the same little thermal bags that the chicken and champagne use, and we provide a picnic with a bottle of wine and a French baguette for everyone that purchases. And we've grown this. This also came out of COVID. We used to do a supper club. We partnered with the Kansas City Jazz group here and had a sit down dinner where all the different chefs provided each course. And that obviously COVID, we morphed to this picnic. We always do this. Bastille Day is July 14th. So we'll pick a Friday where we pass these out either before or after. Oh, I see Judith. Hi, Judith. Please add in anything, anytime. So back to that. It is labor intensive and it requires some touch from almost every single one of our members. We have about 65 members as well. So it's labor intensive, but it's not labor intensive because it's really a lot of fun when you get together and pack everything. I thought what I would do is read you this year's menu because we've just launched it. And so you understand what you're getting. And remember, these are portion sizes for two. So you'll get this year Parmesan rosemary shortbread, smoked salmon spread, artichoke tapenade, mushroom and walnut pate, charcuterie and cheese, a French baguette from the Farm to Market Bread Company, a jar of chutney, curried chicken salad, caramelized onion, roasted red pepper and goat cheese tart, sweet potato and black bean salad with chimichurri, frigola grain salad with charred red onions, roasted cherry tomatoes and basil, French macarons, cherry pistachio cookies, and chocolate sables with sea salt. So it's a big bag, but it's smaller portions. And not unlike all of you all, we have different chefs, restaurant owners. So everything's made in commercial kitchens and packaged. We have one of our DOMs works for a supply company and gets all of the sustainable biodegradable packaging. And she talks to each of the chefs, each of the DOMs on what kind of packaging they need. And we order that. We've been very lucky that we're either get that donated or we're able to pay cost for it. So it's a pretty nominal expense for us.
And then we did have one question that I think applies maybe to all of you about where are you sourcing those insulated tote bags?
I'll have to check.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's
Some online vendor.
I can find out and I could send it to you, Liz, and then you could it's like you could check with your like US Foods or with whoever does your packaging or they're not unique. And
Right.
they're not like, they're nice because they are a little souvenir with our logo on them.
And they're
We
reusable.
have
Yeah.
been using our last large purchase of them. One of our local banks sponsored, don't, you know what I mean, gave us the money for that. So we did put
Okay.
their logo on the back.
Okay. Cool.
That's a good way, like, I will say that for sponsorship purposes, sometimes the sponsors like to have their name on something, so the bag is actually a good spot for that. Besides, we also do the menu and then thank all of our sponsors. We recognize each of the chefs. And I say chefs, but not everybody in the organization's a chef. Like myself, I'm a restaurant owner, but I have chefs, but I am providing one of these. So you don't have to be a chef. And
Right.
sometimes we tap our chefs a little too much. So we try to be very cognizant of that. We also, you get a rosemary mint martini, which is a little bottled, pre-batched martini in your bag, and a bottle of wine, French wine, either the white, a rosé, or we do offer a non-alcoholic. There's a brand free, FRE, and it's fine. But we found that the first year we did it, we found that people wanted a non-alcoholic option. So we sourced that really quickly. Our bags, our early bird price, which will be until May 18th this year, is $135. And then that price on May 19th will jump to $155. We cap out at 200 bags. Because that's about all we can handle. We're not a huge organization. And B, because that we've kind of found that as a sweet spot. And maybe that's how you all would explain the 300 as well that you do of your champagne and chicken. But you kind of, when you start growing and you sell under 100, you think, oh, we can do more. And then you get to a point where you find that you really can't do much more. You don't, the profit, the bag profit isn't there. I'm trying to think what else we have. We do the packing. Our packaging looks just like, I mean, our assembly, like y'all's picture where we have the boxes, everybody's packaging everything. Now I will tell you, let me say, we package the bags. The chefs, the restaurant owners, we have everything packaged when we bring it to the bag assembly day. Does that make sense? We partner with a local fresh produce organization that provides, they take surplus fresh produce and repurpose it into what we call food deserts or underserved areas in our community. And they have a huge refrigerator space that we actually utilize their space to do all of our bag packaging, store overnight, and then just like you all, we have the runners, the food people that are delivering. We have 2 locations for distribution. We do distribution from 5 to 6 p.m. on Friday. It'll be this year, July 17th. And we do one in more Midtown, Kansas City downtown area, which is, we actually do it at Camby's. We do it straight from there. And then the other one, we go out south. We have a lot of folks from the burbs, if you will. And we do the Johnson County Community College that has a lovely hospitality program. And we have a lot of folks out there. So we do a second distribution. That is seamless. We don't do any delivery. We don't do any, no, if you want to pick up, it's between 5 and 6.
And you pre-sell everything online.
Pre-sell everything online. And it does take, ladies, you all know it takes everyone, even if you're buying a bag, you're participating. Somebody's got to make the menu, make the cute little card with the menu and all that. Somebody's got to go pick it up from the printer. Somebody's got to, and we just encourage, I'm going to tell you that I don't know our exact percentage. I think Cheryl may have shared that during our presentation, but almost everybody touches it somehow. You just kind of have to. Obviously, some people lift a lot harder.
And you do the two different pickup locations. It's same day, same time. Just
Same
two
day, same time.
places. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just because of,
Yeah.
it's about 30 minutes difference of play, 25 minutes, you know what I
And
mean?
it's all 100% to go.
100%.
Okay.
100%. The one thing we do that we know which, like we know that Liz has her bag and when you come to, you're like, I'm Liz Barrett. And then I say, okay, she's got white and we pull the wine. We usually keep those in coolers. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay. And when I buy it, I'm like, here, I want to pick it up at this location.
Yes, you
Okay.
do on the order. We use Eventbrite still. We do pass along the charges for
Yeah.
Eventbrite to the customer, um, to our guests. We do that just because of the exposure that it has. You know what I mean? More to the cup. But we all wrote down Zeffy, and we are gonna look into it. But well, at conference because you were, you know what I mean. Eventbrite might not be necessary.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. So many of the things that you all said, I was like, oh, we do that too. Oh, we do that too.
And then, yeah, you said, I just saw Lee had a question. Your early bird price is 135 each,
Mhm.
and then after a certain date, it bumps to 155.
Correct.
Okay. What's the
That's just to
breakout?
encourage some pre-orders because everybody tends to wait till the last minute, and we're trying to get,
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say,
helps us know how much more communication and promotion we have to do. We started this with just DOMs, emailing your friends to come and do this. And our first year, we did just under 100 bags. And so now that we don't have anywhere near the communication staff that Birmingham has, but you will be so amazed at, especially the younger, newer members, how astute they are with and something beautiful is put together and thrown out social media. Social media helped us jump tremendously. Um, and it's our repeats, like you all said. People just go, oh my gosh, this was such a great value and so much fun, and all the different restaurants and chefs from around the city that participate in it. And we're starting to feel a little bit more Dom recognition. Nobody knows who Le Doms de Scoffier are, and we're feeling like maybe that's in our own mind.
I love that.
So last year we netted 24,000. This year we're budgeted we're hoping to get just about 29,000 increase. With regards to donations, our chefs or our restaurateurs, they utilize their connections usually to get the ingredients that they need, or will share, hey, this is available. And what was I?
And are you getting sponsorships on top of?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, that's where our our hope for our jump in net proceeds are this year, because we haven't done a really good job with sponsorships. It's more with covering costs. And we do offer all of the DOMs in the restaurants a stipend, or not really a stipend, but we will cover your costs. We don't want anyone to go out of pocket. But what we have found is they utilize their connections, and a lot of them will just say, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. But we don't want anyone to feel like they are required to do that. And we've tried to be very cognizant in that effort.
And the chefs or the caterers or whatever, they give you their dish like packaged up and ready to insert into the tote.
Correct. And I will tell you, we have one gal one Dom that really puts the menu together. And then for instance, she came to me and she goes, what do you want to do? And I said, why don't you ask everyone else and tell me what's left over? So I
Yeah.
think I'm actually doing the Frigola grain salad this year, which I am with the charred red onions. And I thought, well, I guess I'll be talking to chef because I am not a chef. And I'll
Amazing.
figure out, but she'll do a recipe and then I know our chef will change it a little,
I love
to
it.
make
Thank
it
you
ours.
so much. I'm looking at the clock and I know we just have like a minute or two left. And there's two things I definitely want to add. The St. Louis chapter, and I see our Madam President, Marilyn, there. The St. Louis chapter is the one that won the Power of Connection Award, which that was all based on the highest percentage of members that came to conference, and that was St. Louis. Unfortunately, Elise Scalioni, was the president of the St. Louis chapter, was unable to join us today, but she sent me a few words, and I'm sorry I can't read the whole thing, but they were so excited to win it. And she kind of attributed it to really marketing the balance of what you get from going to conference, about enriching your entire experience as a member, engaging more with the overall organization. And then they had board approved conference stipends at their annual meeting that made it a little bit easier for some of the members to get to conference, because we all know that there's an expense involved there that not everybody can handle all the time. So they brought 8 of their 51 members to the conference to cheer on, of course, Marilyn, who is, her home is the St. Louis chapter. And she said that they all caught the bug. I mean, I think everybody who goes to conference knows that. And the other thing I want to add is a big thank you to Tito's Handmade Vodka, who graciously provided some like nice prize swag bags at conference and then sent everybody some nice bottles of vodka, the winners, so that you guys can, make a little celebration at home. So we have a huge thank you to Tito's for that. And with that, Sheila, did I forget anything? Or
Liz, thank you for guiding such a thoughtful and engaging conversation. And my sincere thanks to all of our speakers for sharing your time, your insights, and the stories behind your chapter success. What you've demonstrated today is exactly what makes LDEI so powerful: creativity, collaboration, and a deep commitment to making an impact in our communities. Talking about sponsors, we would also like to thank ChefWorks for presenting this program. To everyone who joined us, thank you for being part of this conversation. I hope you're leaving with ideas you can bring back to your own chapters, and perhaps even inspiration for a future chapter award submission. Before we sign off, I'd like to give you a quick preview of what's coming next. We're launching a 3-part LDEI Live Online series, The State of the Restaurant Industry Today. This timely series will bring together women restaurateurs, industry analysts, and thought leaders to explore the realities of today's restaurant landscape, from on-the-ground challenges to broader economic and cultural forces shaping the future of hospitality. It's going to be an important, relevant, and very dynamic set of conversations, and I hope you'll join us. Thank you again for being here today and for all you do as part of this remarkable community. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.